Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
One of the busiest roads in Fargo will see a complete reconstruction this year, and it will impact nearly 30,000 drivers. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Just less than 1 mile of 13th Avenue South near West Acres Mall will get new lanes, sidewalks, and upgrades to the sewer system. The nearly $9 million project will start in late April. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop joins us live from 13th Avenue with more on this project. Ashley?
If you're going to be driving on this part of 13th from April until October, you're going to be in one lane in each direction. Now, the orange cones will start at the underpass of I-29 and go all the way to 45th Street South. Now, if you take a look at this map, you'll see how much of the road will actually be impacted. The intersection of 42nd Street South will remain open, but there will be lots of changes with the construction. The city of Fargo says they plan to have business accesses open and that this project is long overdue.
Everything out there is over 30 years old, and that's about the duration we get out of roads, storm sewers, street lights, traffic signals. It's just aging infrastructure, and it's time to be replaced.
Gordon says the project will be done in 5 phases. The speed limit will drop down from 35 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour in the construction zone. Additionally, stop signs will be added on 15th Avenue South because of the increased traffic. Now, coming up tonight at 6, we'll tell you why they hope that this upcoming construction project will help reduce numerous crashes that have been happening here on 13th Avenue South. In South Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you so much, Ashley. There will be a public meeting about the project tomorrow at the Holiday Inn from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. There's no presentation, just maps and availability for questions. What a beautiful day. Many people went outside to enjoy the weather, including golfers. Today, Moorhead opened its driving ranges at the Meadows and Village Green public golf courses. And as long as the weather stays nice, they hope to open their courses by Friday. As for tonight, let's find out what we can expect. Joining us with the details is meteorologist Robert Hahn. Robert?
Yeah, very nice out there. Quite a range in temperatures actually across the region, and ranging from the 30s into the 40s, 50s, and 60s. We're still in the 60s here in Fargo. We actually topped out at 65 degrees. That broke a record of 62 set back in the years 2018, 98, still above that record high at 63 degrees. A chilly 39 up in Roseau, 49 in Bemidji, 55 in Wadena, Detroit Lakes, and Valley City. Wind speeds kind of gusty, especially across the southern portions of the valley. Those winds will flip around to the north as we head through time tomorrow. Starting to see clouds on the increase underneath those clouds. We're starting to see a few showers roaming on through the area. We'll see some showers, maybe even some rumbles of thunder as we head through the overnight hours. But tonight here in Fargo, as we head through the rest of the evening, temperature slowly dropping on off down into the lower 50s by the 7, 8, and 9 o'clock hour. We do have some rain to talk about, some thunder to talk about, some snow to talk about, and more warm weather to talk about. We'll get to all of that here in just a little bit.
All I caught was the warm weather.
Exactly. That's what to focus on, yeah.
Thanks, Robert. After weekend crashes in western North Dakota, authorities are reminding us of the need for motorcycle safety. 2 separate crashes on Sunday afternoon left 1 dead and 1 in a Bismarck hospital. 48-year-old Michael Brunner was killed in a crash that happened in Hazen, North Dakota. The other crash happened about 10 miles from Belfield, North Dakota. That driver was flown to Bismarck for treatment. We have new information on an officer-involved shooting in Bismarck. The suspect in the shooting has been identified as James Scott of Mandan. Police say someone called them just before midnight on Sunday about Scott, who was in the back of his apartment building armed with a shotgun and wanting to kill the caller. Officers found Scott standing next to a gun in the hallway and say he took off running out of the apartment building. Police say he refused to show his hands and get on the ground, and that's when an officer shot and killed Scott. A shooting that police say will impact the community.
Well, this affects everybody. This isn't, really that commonplace where we have officer-involved shootings here. This is something that it affects the entire, the officer, his family, of course the victim and their family. It affects the entire department. It affects the community.
The officer involved was not injured, and the case has now been turned over to the North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation. One mother is in jail for taking drugs while pregnant and transferring them to her newborn. Desiree McKay is charged with child endangerment. Based on court documents, McKay tested positive for amphetamines and marijuana while she was 35 weeks pregnant. She was arrested after giving birth to her baby, who is now in protective custody with Cass County Social Services. The judge set her bail at $15,000 cash only or $1,500 cash, along with completing a 24/7 drug program. Either way, McKay is not allowed contact with her baby. Are you a racist? Most of us are likely to say that we're not. However, we may be kidding ourselves, according to Tim Wise. Wise is an anti-racist writer and educator who has been leading discussions about the issue all over Grand Forks today. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us what's happening and how you can become part of the discussion.
Whether we're white or a person of color, Tim Wise says we all have some ingrained racism or bias.
For me, I think it's just really important for everyone to acknowledge that we've all been conditioned to have certain biases.
Tim Wise is author of the book White Like Me and film of the same name that contend whether we're white or a person of color, racism is built into our personal lives and institutions.
Today, there are more African Americans in prison or jail on probation or parole than were enslaved in 1850, a decade before the Civil War began.
Wise highlighted our personal biases at several discussion groups he led around town today. For instance, our own network of friends usually leads to someone just like us getting that new job.
About half the new jobs are filled in this country through networking, through letters of recommendation written by existing employees for potential new hires. That means if you don't know the people who are in the network, if you're not connected, you're not going to have an opportunity regardless of whether you're qualified for a job.
Wise says the answer may lie in discussions just like this one, discussions with our children and at our schools.
The conversation should begin with discussion of differences and how that's okay. You know, that so-and-so may have different color skin or different type of hair or come from a different place, and isn't that wonderful? You know, I would love to see that happen rather than the sort of color blindness concept that we hear about.
Tim Wise wants it to be a discussion that grows across the country in an effort to create greater equality. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
If you would like to learn more, Tim Wise is holding a free public discussion on all of this tonight at 7 o'clock at the Chester Fritz Auditorium in Grand Forks. 3 people have been arrested by Fargo police after an early morning burglary. Officers were called to an apartment in North Fargo, and when they arrived, they found Jenna Pierce and Alan Jamgochian walking with televisions. Michael Menge was seen sitting in a car on the street. Officers found marijuana and paraphernalia inside Menge's car, along with some stolen property, which is believed to have belonged in the apartment. Pierce and Jamgochian were arrested for burglary, and Michael Menge for multiple warrants. Join the conversation by liking Valley News Live on Facebook. That's also where you can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day. National Cereal Day is supposed to be a fun way to celebrate marshmallows, puffs, and X's and O's. But there is some bad news for the cereal industry as a whole. According to the New York Times, a global survey shows millennials are opting for a different breakfast. In fact, over the last decade, cereal sales have been on the decline. Valley News Team's Nicole Johnson went out and talked to millennials.
There isn't a whole lot of work required to make a bowl of cereal. What did you eat for breakfast this morning?
I didn't.
But for many millennials, cereal is just too inconvenient.
I don't eat a whole lot of it. I don't eat breakfast very often, and it's kind of a breakfast item. I feel you don't have cereal for supper.
A global research group says 40% of millennials surveyed don't eat it because they don't want to clean up afterward.
I don't buy that. It's not that terrible. You just put the bowl in the sink and wash it out.
The cereal industry says a lot of people are choosing breakfast sandwiches, yogurt, or eating away from home.
It's easier to get away with not cooking less, just because I feel like things are more available, like fast food and things like that.
I had Fruity Pebbles this morning, actually.
But there are still some cereal lovers out there in the millennial generation. How often do you eat cereal?
once a day, if not twice or more. I don't know.
That's your usual breakfast?
Yeah, or dinner or lunch, whatever time it comes in during the day.
Those who don't mind washing a spoon or a bowl.
Never had that problem before, so I wouldn't know.
You don't mind cleaning up after yourself?
Nope.
Reporting in Fargo, Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
According to the survey reported by the New York Times, 40% of baby boomers say cereal remains a favorite for breakfast. However, food researchers say customers overall are less interested in industrial processed grains to start their day. It's a motivational Monday, and while it's important to get exercise, it's also important to have a complete and healthy lifestyle. Fitness 52 in South Fargo is encouraging the community to be part of its online group called Fargo Fit Fam to help motivate and share methods. Part of their healthy lifestyle includes chiropractic work to have muscles working properly to work out. They also encourage people to get mentally healthy.
If you think about how you feel after a workout or after going to the gym or running or whatever it is, there's definitely a shift in your mentality. And so part of what researchers are now actually doing is they are prescribing exercise as ways to combat mental health issues.
To be part of the Fargo Fit Fam, go to valleynewslive.com and click on our hot button for a link to their Facebook group page. A life-saving